All right, let's do this first thing in the morning. There's actually sun out, and I don't even feel like going to get it. I don't care. I'm out there. I can't be bothered. But I'm drinking bulletproof coffee. I'm getting back wowie. You can't really see it in here due to poor lighting circumstances, but I've got like swelling over my eyes. It's a whole thing. Me in the cold and eating carbs, and when those two things come together, the cold urticaria effect on my skin. Yeah, you still can't see it a little bit, but um, I look super Asian now. I fit in even more. But yeah, it makes my eyes swell. And then when the cold urticaria meets up with the carbohydrate consumption, it is some stuff to behold. With this one, I'm gonna talk to ladies. In roughly a week, something like that, 9 days, I will turn 45 years old. I'm used to being slightly younger. All my friends were older than me because I'd skipped grades in school or A grade in school, and maybe even started early. I can't remember. Anyway, I don't know. But 45. That's it. Like, there's no more pretending that I'm young. There's no more pretending that I still have time to have kids. So I can be a grown up later. That's all over. So, and I want to talk about the effect that COVID has had on that. And I don't know if other women are realizing it and feeling it, but I'm a feminist. Everybody knows that about me. I believe in women in having equal opportunities to men in some ways. Physiologically speaking, biologically speaking, we're not going to get into the whole differences, but yes, there are differences between men and women, and I'm not trying to go do any cage matches with Cyril Gahn anytime soon, just to prove that I'm equal. Let's put it that way. But what I will say is this, ladies. For guys at a critical point, critical age, to lose a couple years due to COVID lockdowns and inability to socialize and all the rest doesn't necessarily mean as much as it does to a woman who's 35 who wants to have kids. Now, for me, for different reasons, I've known for a good long time I probably wasn't having kids. I'm fine with that. Uh, Being single, I don't even know any other way of life at this point. So I'm more adapted to that, and I have a lot of interest in like communal living situations and stuff like that I've always wanted to kind of explore. I like living in hostels, um, meeting different people, traveling a lot. I spent years and years and years doing that, so I'm used to not having permanent, fixed nuclear family stuff going on. For people, women who are looking to do that, who are at a critical age, you've lost a couple of years, possibly. I spent 20 minutes on a dating app the other day, and I was like, what fresh hell is this? Like, no. It didn't work for me. So if you're not a dating app person, and you're a woman, and you're at a critical age, and you've lost a couple of years, you need to start prioritizing. 3-4 years ago, it was cool to be like, oh, whatever, and I'm focused on my career, and I'm doing this over here. Maybe I'll get around to it, and not focusing on trying to meet the one, or, I don't believe in the one, but a one with whom you have common visions and goals in life. It was okay to kind of let that all be on the back burner and be a little bit more blasé about it. Now, honey, you need a plan. I don't care if it's talking about going on singles trips now that travel is opening back up a bit, getting back into bars and places where bars are open. Basically, nothing here is open yet again. Also, I'm isolated by language. I don't speak enough functional French to go out here and like hang out in bars. really. Summer was a bit better because there were so many people out that increased the probabilities I was going to meet somebody who'd be comfortable speaking with me in English. Now, I mean, it's going to the grocery store is about the most human contact that I get. If you are in a situation where you need to be making opportunities to meet people and you're at an age 35, 36, whatever, you need to start prioritizing that stuff. Even if it is meeting somebody on an app and then setting up a real life meetup or movie night or something, or walk in the park, uh, dog walk together, or whatever, going fishing at a lake if you're somewhere warm. On top of it, it's cold here, so you can't really just be outdoors for a whole long period of time in a blizzard. Um, so it's real, and those are a lot of challenges. I mean, like for me personally, if I were a single female and I was out here trying to meet somebody, everything's locked down and closed. There's blizzards, you can't really go walking around for too terribly long. I have cold urticaria, so I actually can't really be out in the cold without being on some kind of pill to have an EpiPen for some period of time. And I got a language barrier going on. Forget it. Forget it. But if you're dealing with these kinds of obstacles, you need to be working that into your equation for your life plan. And like I said, I'm all about the strong, independent woman thing, but if you don't want to end up, and I'm like I said, I'm more of a communal kind of living kind of girl. I mean, I'm fine with like a few roommates or in a tiny house community or whatever. But if you're looking at, wanting a house and some kids and a family and a husband or a wife or just a life partner, or you need to be making conscious efforts at this point, um, because time flies. I'm telling you, past after 25, I would say stuff sped up, but once I hit 30, it's a friggin' bullet train. And once you hit 35, you just start looking back like, where did years go? It's amazing how fast it goes by. And what's really bad as you get older, like I don't know why, but I don't feel like I'm very mature and very wise in some ways, but in other ways, I'm still stupid and silly and childish, and it seems to be in ways that I don't ever see reflected. Um, it's in positive ways that I don't ever see reflected in what would be considered age appropriate males. So most guys my age that I know from like high school and stuff like that, they're all married. Like they're all married, they've got families. When you start talking about like 50 and above, very often you're looking at divorced gentlemen. Um, and I got to tell you, I've tried swimming in those waters, and you want to talk about some often bitter, emotional, divorced baggage, estrangement issues when you start talking about uh, that situation. I mean, it's a whole sea of drama that, and I've lived with other women who were older than me and watched them try and navigate those waters and run into the same stuff. So, um, if you can find humans with less baggage, you're better off. Or people who know how to handle their baggage, or at least distinguish their baggage. Because other than that, they just bleed their dysfunction all over you, and then you get wrecked with the same wrecking ball that got them. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to say fair warning, to women out there who, and I'm all like I said, I'm all about the whole feminist and being independent. I always wanted to have my own life and my own thing, and then meet the person that came along that had a similar vision and all of that. And I always wanted to have my own success before um, I met someone else who had their own success, and then come together with a common life vision. Just didn't work out that way. And so if you want these things still in your life as goals, you need to be making a conscious effort. Because I can assure you, time will fly. And I don't want to use the old adage of the old cat lady or the Miss Habersham character, but there are, for some people, I mean, that would be a failure in their life. For some women and some men to end up childless and single in their 40s, 50s, whatever. I was listening to some Reddit stories the other day from people over 50 who ended up single. How's your life? And some of it was kind of cool, like, yeah, I've got plenty of money, I've got a boat, I go out on the lake, and then some of it was like, I'm miserable, I'm lonely, I go to work, I come home. My dog is happy to see me. One day I'm going to die. So depending on who you are, and how your life has been set up, and what your goals are or were, depend on how you end up in such a situation. Will you be one of the positive or negative stories on Reddit? Shout out the Reddit crew. But yeah, so ladies, gentlemen, be sure that you are living intentionally. Try and make up for some lost time out here. Chop. Take advantage of opportunities to meet people. I watched a BBC report this morning that I posted about in Ireland. There's a group of skaters who get together and they go out and they meet and they go out and they skate in public. Get creative and really define what it is you're looking for and what you want, and know that you need to make an actual effort, because for different reasons I spent my late 20s and 30s running, but other people don't have my circumstances who are ready, or even if you're not ready, you have to understand you've lost some time. And I know how that is, and I know how you can just turn around one day and be like, what happened to my time? I mean, thankfully I don't have, I don't necessarily feel the need to have a couple of kids, or even ever be married. But for those people that do, you lost some time out here. So make up for it and stuff. And ladies, don't let it make you feel desperate or like you need to settle. Don't end up in a relationship or a marriage, trust me on this one, you're going to have to get out of in a couple of years anyway, especially not after you've brought some kids in the world behind it. Right? Live smart.